If you're new here, hi, I'm Jonah, the host of Moving Women Forward community podcast, with my mission to help 100 women in 100 days move from feeling stuck to empowered, amplifying their voices through expert led support, visibility opportunities, and meaningful networking. Now sit back, grab your cup of coffee or your favorite drink, and be inspired to move forward in life and in business with our next episode. We are live streaming today with a special guest, nonetheless, one of the members of our community, Özlem Imil. I'll leave the floor to Özlem in a minute. She is a very special guest, not only because she's a member of the community, not only because she is here on our show today live, but Özlem is also one of my clients, and it's one of those clients that supports and lifts me up. So I want to say it publicly and on a live stream, this statement basically. Thank you, Özlem, for everything. So Özlem is a conscious leadership and life design coach, energy practitioner, and as well as the founder of Soul Home and Soul Child's community, a dedicated health and wellness community, which is growing by the minute. Özlem, thank you so much for being on stage today. The floor is yours. Give us the introductions, what you do, what inspires you, and most of all, what is your mission? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Yona, and so good to be here today. It's an honor, as always. And as I always say to you, I absolutely love what you do and what you create in the world. Your energy from the first moment we met. I remember your energy lighting up the corner of that room in one of the boss events. And I remember thinking, I got to connect to this lady, so thank you so much. So I got two things going as my passions and as a part of my career and work. One is my work one-on-one with leaders, as you've just explained. So I'm a conscious leadership and life design coach. My company is called Conscious Life Design. And I've been around, I'm a seasoned coach for a good 12 years now. So as well as traditional leadership coaching, I serve people by bringing complementary therapies into my coaching, where and when necessary. So we look at, when I look at my clients, we look at the client's whole well-being, whole as WHOLE. Okay. So there's a holistic approach to their coaching and to their goals. Yeah. So that's one side of what I do. The one that we're going to talk more about, and they are both connected, is Soul Home today, which is a startup wellness hub that I'm leading. Soul Home has been around for about 6 months now. And as you say, it's growing. And Soul Home is about maximizing our health and wellness in a few ways. One of them is wellness workshops. And there I'm joined by other practitioners, other wonderful practitioners. Another way that we do this in Soul Home is community events and community gatherings. We've got a monthly meetup. That actually started even before the hub, Soulful Chats. And the third thing is coaching, of course. So it's conscious life coaching, wellness coaching combined. The hub is right now backed by two venues. One is, as you know, because I'm also trying to grow, actually not trying to grow, that's also really growing well, a business community called Business Buzz in Canary Wharf. So both my communities, the free community, social community, and my business community, my events are in Hazev. So that's like the restaurant cafe that helps me and that supports me. But also Docklands Academy in Canary Wharf. So our in-person workshops, we have a nice venue that supports the purpose. And I'll come to the purpose in a minute. But, my goal is really to actually have a center in Canary Wharf within a year and a half. And that center at the beginning will be focusing on more coaching and, holistic practices and combination. But as we move forward, that's actually going to be more about bringing Western medical sciences. So I will be collaborating with doctors, hopefully as well. They're forward-thinking doctors and holistic approaches together. So as I think I probably told you this before, but for the audience, my purpose, the reason why I wake up every morning is a world, possibly in 20 years' time, where we have a different health and wellness system. One where focus is the real health and wellness rather than disease, more than the cure. The focus is prevention and people being autonomous. So imagine if you had a stomach issue. Currently, we have we have brilliant services with brilliant people in them, don't get me wrong. Our current health and medical system is good in many ways, and it saves lives and helps many people. It's just incomplete. So imagine going to a hospital with a stomach pain or a stomach issue, and at the hospital, your physical stomach is checked with the wonderful technologies that are available to us today. Evidence-based science technology is great. Your physical stomach is looked at and taken care of. But then another assessment is around your energy. So, your solar plexus in the Eastern philosophies and teachings would correspond to the energy flow of solar plexus. So what's happening around there? Is your energy flow good? Again, that connects to your breathing as well. We are energy beings. We've got energy inside and around our bodies. How is that flow doing? You're assessed around your personal lifestyle. So instead of just a tick box of, do you smoke, how many units of alcohol, which is not, I'm not saying that's bad. It's better than nothing. But you're probably assessed about your personal lifestyle, your social connections, your community, your relationships, in a kind way. And maybe even your spirituality, and spirituality might mean, going to a temple, going to a church, etc., and being there with your community. To me, that's a great thing. It also means connection to nature, bringing joy to your life, so you're assessed alongside how do you do these things, how much joy you have in your life. And then at the end of those assessments, because each of us are unique systems. So there's only one Yona like you, with your beliefs, with your mindset, with your background, with your upbringing, with your emotions. There's only one. So this system called Yona, what is the issue? In what parts of the system has the issue arisen? And what can the solution be for this specific system called Yona? Maybe diagnosis is not the most important thing here. Maybe specific diagnosis for Yona is the important thing. So that's my dream. And I'm not a doctor, so I'm not claiming, I will change the world or I will change, the hospital system or health system. My goal is to play my small role, to raise awareness, open a center that will enable this, to bring the practitioners who have the same passion, an autonomous, healthy, long-living human population. I love science-backed, evidence-backed tools. I love Eastern philosophies, the ones that I tried. They are also amazing. I'm not the defender of either. That's not my purpose. In however way, my focus is, are we living our best lives? Are we the best that we can be? Are we living fulfilling and joyful lives? And as long and as healthy as possible. Whatever brings the results for whoever is what I'd like to bring in. But, currently we are failing in looking at ourselves in a whole way. And we are failing, and including me, by the way. I'm just a little bit better in some areas, but we've been very disconnected from our bodies. We've been very disconnected from knowing these wonderful vehicles that are our only true homes. We don't know them. That compared to 2-3 generations ago, we are disconnected. We really have to get that connection back and be more autonomous and only bring in, medical or holistic systems when needed. So yeah, that's my long intro.
That's a complete and quite complexive, actually, intro. Thank you for that, Özlem.
Thank you.
But you touched the point of reconnection. So in our community, in the Moving Women Forward community, women feel stuck, overwhelmed. There's so much advice out there. There's so much information to rely on. But what can be one of the first empowering steps that they can start reconnecting? The reconnection doesn't mean reconnection with the nature, I guess. It's reconnecting with their mind, with their beliefs, with their mission, because it's part of the mission. That this is so important in business and in life. So what can be the first step? What can you advise?
So this is a really big question. I'll try to answer this in the way I understand it. So I think the one simple thing or the one simple approach that we should all as women look into is tuning in. Oftentimes we are directed and told to look at things that are outside of us. So the solution is always outside. That's what we've been told for centuries. That's what we are told still now. The solution, and it's the capitalist system, isn't it? We need to be sold things for the economy to move forward. So all the solutions are outside. We really need to tune in. We really need to go in. This, of course, will mean slowing down when need to, finding space. And look, I know for many of us, particularly, business owners or corporate leaders with a lot of responsibilities, people will say, I don't have hours and hours for these. You don't need hours and hours. 10, 15 minutes of conscious, aware, intentional time for yourself, listening to a piece of music, reading a book that you haven't read in a while, sitting on the balcony or in the, in the garden by yourself, whatever it is. The other thing is, I'm not a big lover of variable technologies, but, many people I love and respect do them. But without wearing them, I still keep track of my life. So tuning into yourself and assessing things for you. So look, of course, there are a few elements also to this question too. Please remind me if I don't remember, but when we look at outside help, sometimes it's necessary because it's urgent or there's emergency. I'm not talking about that, and I don't think you're talking about that. We're talking about more ongoing, maybe sometimes chronic issues. So here, before rushing online to look for solutions, actually tuning in. Okay, what have I been eating? What are, and what is the impact? Note, if you want to do it, variables and technologies, using them, do, but, the good old style notebook and a pen also can help, so, or I don't know, open the Excel spreadsheet, have kind of a template, look into your life, what you're consuming in terms of food, etc. for 2 weeks. What's the impact when I eat those foods? What am I consuming in terms of drinks? What's the impact? How do I feel mentally, emotionally? When we come to mental and emotional thoughts and feelings, I don't know if you realize we have habitual, subconscious, daily, almost we are addicted to some of our emotions and thinking patterns. What are they? When are they coming about? How do I feel when they come out? What's the impact? Who do I surround myself with? How about my relationships? Are they extracting? Either do I feel expanded in these relationships? Do I become my best self? So I would say look into all those areas before rushing to online sources. And of course, there is an emergency urgency side to things. Okay, we do have amazing practices available to us. So if something is urgent and if there is emergency, of course, as well as, and this is what we say in, Soul Home as well, maybe looking online, go and ask, have reference from your loved ones and from people you trust as to, who's a good practitioner, what are the good practices. One type of workshop, we have 3 types in Soul Home. So explore, embody, and enact is explore. If you feel, which is, what I really advise people to do, because I was in that situation. I'm a coach. I'm a very logical person. The reason why I went into holistic and complementary therapies was because I knew who I was and I knew the questions that I needed to ask to myself really well. But I also realized I was too much in my mind. And I thought, for my ongoing issues, I'm relatively physically healthy, so it was more emotional, mental stuff I'm talking about. Therapy would not help me, and it helps a lot of people. I'm not saying as a tool it's not helpful. It's helpful for many people. But because I'm so logical and I'm a coach myself, I was like, okay, tuned in. It's not going to come from there for me personally. Where might it come from? Okay, look, there's this thing called energy healing or energy work. Maybe that's where my answers are. So I went there. Some of those things didn't work for me. Some did. So that came with, looking in, tuning in, understanding, myself and understanding the needs of my whole system, my body, my mind, and bringing that balance into my logic. Logical mind and logical solutions are great, but bringing some energy, good energy flow, breathing, which I wasn't doing, really changed my life. Some people who are more into the other side of things, maybe they should bring, the usual nutrition, solid evidence-based stuff that everyone else uses. So it depends on who you are and what you need. But yeah, tune in regardless.
That's a complex. Again, it's quite a complex and
Huge issue.
wide, 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 wide topic, basically. So yeah, we have to move on
Yes,
with
it is
another
a huge
question.
topic.
It's obviously moving forward, so we got to move on even with the questions.
Yeah.
So we talked about how to reconnect, what is one of the steps to take in terms of how to reconnect, how to have this approach to the well-being in general. I want to understand, actually, I want for the audience to have the opportunity to understand how can we create a more soul-aligned wellness environment. So we have our environments. How can we create more of a soul-aligned environment rather
Yeah.
than
So
just
for
any
me,
environment for that matter?
yeah. So for me, what soul means is really the spirit, our essence, fully being in our body. What does that mean? I think the English language explains this really well. There's a phrase in the English language. We are called human beings. So we are humans, and there's a beautiful being soul element to us. They are both really real and they are both really important. So for me, when you're talking about a soul-led life, it's bringing my essence, that beingness, and embodying that. It's embodiment. So how do you embody who you are? Start with your values and purpose. Right at the beginning, we talked about that. And I would say don't at all be scared when we're talking about purpose. Yes, my purpose, a little bit of a larger, I speak to clients about this purpose a lot, and they say to me, but I don't have a purpose like yours. That's mine. That's mine. Your purpose might be, oh my God, I do a specific form of art that brings joy to my life. I want to just, for me and for myself, expand on that and explore that further and get better at that. And imagine your, unique form of art that you work on in closed doors. One day is displayed in a church or in a school, and it's impacting the souls of people who are there. Isn't that beautiful? So purpose changes, values change because we change. And I don't know, you and your audience, our audience would realize it's happening very, very rapidly. It's not even a slow change anymore. We mold, we change. I say it's not only children who grow, adults keep on growing too. We grow. So it's not like you're choosing a purpose for your entirety of your life. It could be that, and it might not be that. But what sparks you now? What gets you out of bed now? What do you want to bring into the world in terms of better world, justice, more expansive, fulfilling world? Just focus on those, but know what they are. Like I mentioned to you, Soulful Chats, my meetup, our community meetup. I don't even have rules for that. I have values. So anyone who comes to Soulful Chats either is attracted to those values or fully has those values. Values are the rules themselves. So community, compassion, curiosity, acceptance, generosity, oneness. So the rules are: you come to the meetup, the meeting, and you embody these. The other thing I will say is, because I come from a different generation, and your audience might have, like, 40 plus women, 30 plus women, 20 plus women. In our time, we heard a lot from our grandparents and parents. Do as I say, not as I do. I completely disagree with that. This is a new world. By embody who you are, your values, your purpose, I mean embody. So live them, and live them really fearlessly. Live them. So if I'm a wellness coach, we had a few technical issues just before our sessions. Like if I'm a wellness coach, and anytime you see me, I'm super anxious. I'm, completely out of line. I'm angry. I'm not going to be convincing that I'm working on people's health and wellness. Of course, from time to time, we all have trauma. We all have unexpected things happening to us. We might be out of line a bit. We should be compassionate to ourselves. But most of the time, 80% of the time, 90% of the time possible, we actually truly live what and who we say we are. If I'm a productivity coach, if I have a financial business, whatever I'm doing, I'm the embodiment of that. And I bring it to I bring my light, my values, my passion, my purpose to every area of my life, not only my work, but, my social settings, my spiritual settings, my whatever, wherever I am. I hope that answered the question a little bit.
It did answer. Absolutely, yes. I'm sure the audience will appreciate that. Obviously, if you have any comments, please pop them in the chat, in the thread under the event page. If you do not, please feel free to DM Özlem, if that's okay with you. So if
I
the
would
audience
love
has any
that.
questions. And obviously connect with Özlem. We're not finished yet,
I
just so to
would
speak.
love that.
Yeah, I'd like...
In anything that we are creating, I mean, I love supporting you and I love that you're supporting me. And I would love to support others. And I would love others who believe in similar, the wholeness and wellness to come on board. So please do. And as well as praises, challenges are also good. Like, we have to be able to receive all feedback to get our message more clearer and, better. So
it helps. Absolutely, it helps. Definitely, feedback is one of those. Another topic, perhaps.
yeah.
To discuss in the future, but we will take it separately from this session. Özlem, so we've spoken about how to be more soul aligned, what are the steps, how to reconnect, what is the embodiment in this case. But I want to understand also what role we women, because obviously it's called Moving Women Forward, so we have to stick to this agenda, to this target group. But what role do you think we can play in shaping this future? So how women can do this through their platforms, through their voice, through their ability to speak, their ability to convey that message.
So I was mentioning we have 3 types of workshops, and I'll use the workshop analogy here because we already covered, we have explore, embody, and enact. So for me, this question really falls into the category of enact. Enact, share. So one thing that's special to women, and I think it can be, if used correctly, our superpower, is we are raised and socialized to be nurturers, to be supporters, to be empaths, to be empathetic. We are nurtured and socialized, to be nurturers and to create communities. This is something that, from our birth, many people in many places in the world, we are socialized to do. So I would say, just like you're doing now, first of all, really and truly, lots of research shows that long and healthy lives, and if your audience is familiar with blue zones as well, and institutions like Harvard, I think it's called School of Public Health, talks about this all the time, community is a huge element. And here I also want to suggest a book, because years ago, this book, I think it was 5-6 years ago, really inspired me to create my communities. It's a book called Growing Young by Marta Zaraska. So she's a science journalist and compiled this book about longevity. How do we live long and healthy lives by researching things, but also speaking to scientists, speaking to, researchers, and also her travels. And like when we look at blue zones as well, one of the biggest factors is creating communities, community, kindness, purpose around our lives. So I would suggest women, whatever they do create those little or big communities. They share. So we are, as men and women, we are very good at sharing things that are okay to share or not vulnerable to share. So like, oh, I did a marathon, I did a triathlon, I did this, I did that. But we are less willing to share actually it doesn't have to be our challenges, but, our trials in wellness. So it could be mental and emotional stuff. Okay, yes, maybe we were going through tough times and we tried therapy, or we tried Reiki, okay, or we tried Theta healing. Share that, and share when it works, share when it doesn't work. So it's not only just share the good ones, share your health and wellness journey. You're following a certain diet, way of eating, it's got positives and it's really worked for you, share it. So share more and allow others to share more too. So create spaces like that, which is, I think, women are positioned to do and nurtured to do well. The other thing is support others on the cause. just like you're doing now. Open your platforms. If our focus is on health and wellness now, your platform might be something else. But let me tell you this, I will be bringing finance advisors to Soul Home. Because, we are human beings. We got the body, the humanness, and the beingness. We are in the world. We are on earth, if you want. And this earth, this world is a financial one. So our well-being can never be complete if we are not looking after our financial well-being. So it could be that you can be in any area, but there's a way of bringing our health and wellness to your area. Support the cause, bring those voices to your communities and to your platforms, is what I would say. As you can see, Yona, I can go on forever, about things. So, but I don't want to take. I know we had half an hour, so I don't want to take lots of your.
No, we are right on time. Thank you very much for that. I agree. It's the power of community, power of networking, and how we approach our daily life. So it's our inner self, and obviously that reflects the outer self, I believe. Yes. So I don't go deep into the topic, obviously, because it's not my specialty. But I believe, and I've experienced, and I understand a little bit how it works. So yes, Özlem, so we're good on time.
Good.
This is also your space for the audience. If you have to share, if you want to share, if you are running a workshop, or where can they, whoever is interested, reach out for the Soul Home, maybe the Soul Chats. You can either say it here, or you can put the links in the thread later on. But please, I'd welcome you to share here how people can reach out to you in different ways. And what are you running right now? Any workshop, masterclasses, or anything that you are doing for your community?
Thank you. So
thank you very much.
We are going through a bit of a reconstruction about both my sites. So Soulful Chats is regular, so our community work is regular. That's a monthly meetup. You can find me on Eventbrite, so any events that I do are put on there. I've got one free one, actually, as a part of Soul Home in collaboration with Doing Business Like We Are Human. It's a network that I'm a part for when I used to be a member, but with two other members who are phenomenal coaches at the end of the month, which again you can find on Eventbrite, on all of my websites as well, soulhome.london or Conscious Life Design. We've got leadership lessons from animals. It's our second year with it in the expo. So adapting and flourishing in uncertain times. We're going to be with the audience and modeling some leadership lessons from animals and from nature there. So combining again both worlds. That's going to be an interesting one. But other ones are going to be coming, and they can find them on Soul Home websites. They will be uploaded. There's one coming up on energy codes. We have one in a specific form of Indian art. So a few things are coming, but they need to be updated on the site. If they look at Eventbrite under Özlem Conscious Life Design, it's there. All the events are there. But yeah, I can put things on the thread as well.
Yes, please do share them in the thread.
If they want to jump on the boat with me as wellness practitioners, as investors, as people who just want to share their ideas and examples and experiences, it's always welcome. We are doing this together.
Wonderful. Share this with our community as well, Özlem. You know where to find the link. So yeah, if you want to share all these events.
Oh, okay. I see.
That would
be
amazing. Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.